Hey everybody, the Reeswirl here, and welcome back to more of Ace Attorney Investigations 2 Prosecutor's Path. Oh man, people are probably sick of seeing me stream this. I really want to finish it. I just did not expect the final case to be such a doozy. And, literally nearly 10 hours. It's probably what it's gonna be, to be fair, but I don't know, we'll see. Either way, let's go. Yeah, we're at middle part 2. John. So that guy was my dad. He found out about his own birth so suddenly. And furthermore, his newfound father is no longer in this world. I'd always been searching for my dad. John. I get it, alright. He's the president. I know it's a complicated situation. But we even met face to face during the filming. So then, why, huh? Why didn't he tell me who he really was? I'm sorry, John. Mom, you don't need to apologize. No matter how you look at it, it's all my fault. Yesterday I broke my promise with you and didn't even notice the fire on the roof. So I destroyed everything. I crushed it all. My dad, and those flowers that my mom carefully grew. John, please, for now, just don't think about anything. Just stay like this for a little while. Just for a little while, okay? Aw, poor kid. He literally lost everything. The bond between a parent and a child. That's the meaning behind Lion Lilies. I know it's not my style, but that flower is from Zhangfa. However, we have no means of protecting that bond. Agent Lang, allow me to say this. The case won't be solved by sentimentality alone. Therefore, shouldn't we do all that we can to solve it? Yeah, you're right. The recreation of the past is finished. Were your father's deductions correct? My old man took his deductions to the grave. He never told anyone about them. So, who knows if they were right or not? In that case, what about your own deductions? I would like to hear what you think happened based on the recreation, in order for us to get closer to the truth of 12 years ago. Yeah, I was thinking it's about time. I can see it now. My old man's back, real close. I'll catch up to him for sure. To the truth that my old man uncovered. Oh! So the truth of the SS5 incident. There's no mistake that the president went to the orphanage. The stuffed toy is proof of that. He was planning to meet with Amy Marsh. However, the president was kidnapped, and Cameron just happened to witness it. If Cameron hadn't been there, it probably would have just been a kidnapping with no murder. Afterwards, the body was moved to the flower beds and a fake photo was taken. Alright. Was that what really happened 12 years ago? Kidnapped and a witness was killed. Yeah. However, there's one thing I still don't get. Something you don't get. It's this. Why did they need to take a fake photo? Why would they go through all that trouble and even make the president take part in the photo? That's true. However, the answer to that riddle must lie somewhere within. Once we get past the layers upon layers of deductions, we shall surely reach it. Yeah, that's right. I'd like to hear your deductions as well. Alright. Yeah, I'll just do my usual. Press on everything until I get to what I need to present. Or to the statement I need to present on. Agent Lang, I'd like to verify a few things that may have seemed obvious at first glance. Are we certain that the president actually went to the orphanage? Okay, I get it. You're saying you want proof. Everyone's always demanding proof from Mr. Edgeworth. After all, you didn't have to tell him that. The stuffed toy is proof of that. He was planning to meet with Amy Marsh. How do we know this? You mean this stuffed animal? The one with the recording device? That's right. Inside that toy was a recording from John's birth mother, Amy Marsh. Indeed. She said that she would meet with him at midnight. Wow, you two are perfectly in sync. Is sync spelt with an H? I could have sworn it's just spelt S-Y-N-C. Sink. There's no CH. Unless I've been spelling it wrong all these years. Which is entirely possible. Either that or it could be spelled either way. The truth is becoming clear, like you're peeling off the layers of a scallion. Okay, a scallion doesn't have anything on the inside. Please don't make such foreboding analogies. The truth is becoming clear, like you're peeling off the skin of a wolf. Can you stop making those foreboding analogies? Let's get back on track. However, the president was kidnapped and Cameron just happened to witness it. I'd also like to verify the details at this point as much as possible. Mr. Cameron witnessed the president and his kidnapper near the orphanage, and Mr. Cameron was standing by the snowman near the road. Then, the murderer picked up a brick, snuck up on him from behind, and wham! Okay, we are simply verifying what actually transpired. There's no need to be scared. That was so intense. Half the details of this case just vanished from my brain. Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Lang, let's carefully verify all the facts of this case. Yeesh. Well, if you're gonna listen, I'll talk as much as you want. Here we go. Boom, boom, boom. So if Cameron hadn't been there, it probably would have been a kidnapping with no murder. Yeah, unfortunately that's doubtful considering there's a mysterious bloodstain. There it is. Belonged to someone other than Cameron, unfortunately. If the eyewitness Cameron had not been there, no murder would have taken place. Is that really the case? The criminal's goal was only to kidnap the president. If there were no witnesses, there would have been no need to commit murder, right? And what if Cameron wasn't the only one who was murdered? There was a large bloodstain at the flower beds, however Cameron was murdered near the snowman. Ergo, this bloodstain could not have belonged to Cameron. Someone else's blood was spilled, and quite a vast amount at that. Of course, not too fast. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. Do you have any idea what you're saying? I do, it's hard to believe, however, that is what the evidence indicates. On that night, 12 years ago, there was 2 murders. Are you saying that the other murder was covered up? Who the heck could have been killed? Oh god, I think I know who it is. Which is very concerning. A murder that was cleverly concealed, all traces of it were erased, and the incident itself was completely deleted from the case files. However, there's one piece of evidence that still remains intact after 12 years. This piece of evidence shows that something happened that night. The picture. Where is it? Holy crap! There it is, the child's drawing. The other murder incident was buried in the dark by Blaise de Best. However, there is still one piece of evidence that remains. Agent Lang, it survived by your father's hands. My old man, you say? Please recall. There was one more thing that was hidden along with the traces of the murder. And that is the existence of the boy who caused the fire. Why did Blaise make the boy disappear? It's because he saw something that he wasn't supposed to see. What was the thing he wasn't supposed to see? Everything is drawn in this picture. The drawing my old man had. The person drawn on the right is most likely the president. The Muzella doll is also drawn near him. And the person standing opposite him is... it's fairly obvious. Where the bloody hell is he? Oh, he's there. Sir Handogan. Oh man. So Dogen killed the president 12 years ago. So who was killed? A man with a knife and a large black dog. He is none other than Sir Han Dogen. What? The assassin? Why would an assassin appear before a president? The answer is clear. Indeed, what occurred that night on the orphanage grounds 12 years ago was not a kidnapping. It was a presidential assassination. Oh wow. Then, Miss Rowland and Mr. Blaze were... Yes, the two were likely partners in crime. One furnished the orphanage to use as the scene of the incident, and the other covered up the young boy's testimony. It's likely that Mr. Cameron was murdered because he witnessed the assassination himself. After all, the kidnapping never actually happened. Stop messing around, you're saying that the president was assassinated 12 years ago? We just found his body today. He's been alive up until now. That's right, I mean, we met him ourselves. If the president was assassinated 12 years ago, and the president's body was found today, that would imply there were two presidents. Yeah, and that can't be right. Are you sure about that? There is the possibility that there were two presidents. That's right. Up until now, I've been getting a strange feeling from the president. Even so, I still respect the man. Zhengfa is a small country, but he carried the nation with his strength. The image of President Huang that Agent Lang described does not. You are wrong. He revealed his true form. Differs far too greatly from the President Huang we know or knew. It's as if they were two entirely different people. If there were in fact two Zhengfa presidents, exactly how would such a scenario be possible? What would make the existence of two presidents possible? One of them was a body double. I'm almost certain we actually had a bit of dialogue that mentioned about presidents using body doubles as like added security. Something like that. If we are to assume, or if we were to assume that one of them was a body double, wouldn't it be possible then? A body double. President Huang possessed immense power and authority in Zhengfa. I'm sure there were those who envied his position and made attempts on his life. Yes, just as he was attacked a few days ago at God Lake. It's true, there were those who sought Huang's life from time to time. But I can't easily believe there were two presidents. At least not without any evidence. Do I have evidence that proves there were two presidents? That's only a 7. Unless it was... I remember reading it somewhere. No. So, wait, what does this actually say? Was kidnapped on February 10th. He was at the Zhengfa embassy until midnight. Wasn't he at the orphanage at midnight, though? And also, wasn't it a different day? I definitely remember reading it. Oh yeah, I need to switch screen. If it's wrong, it's wrong. Has Agent Lang not noticed this contradiction? Or has he noticed it but can't admit it? Hang on a minute, I can actually look at the... That was right, so it doesn't really matter. Can record and playback audio. Can I not listen to it? That's Nicole's. Ah, here we go. It doesn't really say what time that was at, though. Wasn't it 11 PM? If I looked at his autopsy... Oh, no, that's 1 AM. That doesn't help. Yeah, whatever. What is it, Mr. Prosecutor? Don't shout something out only to suddenly clam up. According to the recording on the doll, the President visited the orphanage at midnight. However, that should not have been possible. Oh, he was at it until midnight. I'm an idiot. It's just the fact I was like, yeah, that makes sense. It would take time to get to the orphanage from Zengfar, I would assume. Or from the Zengfar embassy. Yeah, that should not have been possible. Huh? Why is that? Why? Because at the time, the President should have been at the embassy. He was together with Agent Lang's father. I guess he did notice. So, Agent Lang, you really did notice. He was in two places at the same time. Ergo, there must have been two presidents. He says ergo an awful lot. Here's one thing I've just noticed. Then which of the two was the real president on that day 12 years ago? Most likely the one who died. Who? Who contracted Dogen to murder Huang? In order to learn that, first, we must have a look at the evidence that we proved was false earlier. The piece of evidence we know to be false is the photo. I keep nearly presenting the commemorative photo. The photo taken with Cameron's camera was taken after he was murdered. And he was murdered because he witnessed the presidential assassination. In other words, the photo must have been taken following the assassination. Given that, who is the president pictured in the fake photo? We must consider him to be the body double. In other words, the body double had the real president murdered and then took his place. Patricia, Roland and Blaze must have cooperated in that plan. Hold it. Huang's body was never found. Just where could it have disappeared to? The answer to that is already quite apparent. This is where the real president's body was. Oh. Is that what her report was mentioning? The thing he laid to rest. Oh, that is literally talking about a body. Yeah. But either way, yeah. It would be the footprints. Dig up the ransom money. Ah. Last night there was something Blaze had to unearth with his own two hands. That item was not the ransom. It was something far more important. So Blaze unburied the real president's body. The possibility is quite high. What'd you say? The bones from the body buried 12 years ago would have still remained. According to Mr. Powers, construction was to begin soon at this lot. That was the deadline. Both for the movie and the retrieval of the body. Because they would have found the body when they started the construction. Agent Lang, let us search the footprints that Blaze dug up. Yeah. If the body was buried there, there'd be traces of it. Hey, somebody call forensics. Holy shit. So, the president we actually met in the first case was not even the president. He has been dead for a long time. I have the results of the search. We found traces in the dirt that suggest a body was buried here. So, it was Huang after all. We also recovered the skeletal remains that Blaze de Best dug up. They were in his home. In addition to the bone structure, the dental records and the bone fractures all match up. We can confirm that it was indeed President Huang. What? So the real President Huang was indeed killed 12 years ago. Holy fuck. And nobody was none the wiser? Or were they all in on it? Like Rook and Knightley? Like, that's what I don't get. The SS5 incident was a murder. Concrete is broken, the ground buried, yes. Dug by Blaze to retrieve the body. Holy fuck. I just have to assume that everybody was in on it. On the president being a body double. So the SS incident was actually a murder incident. But there's so much information, it's way too confusing. Indeed. Let us take this opportunity to review the details of the case. First, the real president came to the orphanage, right? Oh man. 12 years ago. The true President Huang visited the orphanage in order to meet his son. The footsteps in the snow that we thought belonged to Mr. Cameron were most likely made by the President at that time. President Huang was supposed to meet his son here. However, the one who actually showed up was the assassin, Sirhan Dogan. Right. He came here to meet his son but was murdered instead. How horrible. A man like Dogan shows no mercy. And after that, the second tragedy occurred. You mean Mr. Cameron's murder? Indeed. Mr. Cameron saw the decisive moment. What is with the two Ks? After the real president was killed by Dogan, his body was carried to the rear courtyard by K for kidnappers, duh. By the team of kidnappers. Mr. Cameron must have witnessed that moment. From the orphanage entrance. Although he himself believed that he had actually witnessed a kidnapping. Furthermore, by this time, the body double who had come to meet up with Blaze and Miss Rowland was already standing behind Mr. Cameron, so it was the body double that killed him. And then the witness to the incident, Mr. Cameron, was killed by the body double. So, was Mr. Cameron's corpse also carried by the body double? Yes, that seems likely. But there wasn't anything in the crime scene that looked like the body double's footprints. Huh, I've already figured out how he accomplished that. There is a piece of evidence that would have made it possible. What did the body double use to move the body without leaving any footprints? Would it be the victim's shoes by any chance? Fucking hell, we have so many pages to go through. This is almost certainly how the body double carried Mr. Cameron's corpse. After Mr. Cameron was killed, yes, as he gets X'd out, the President's body double carried him into the middle of the garden. I suspect the body double was wearing the same shoes as the real President at the time. If he made sure to step precisely on top of the footprints left by the real President, since the shoes were the same, there would only be one set of footprints left behind in the snow. I think I've got a pretty good grasp on the SS5 incident now. But there's still one thing I don't get. What's that? Why did they need to stage the abduction? As Mr. Cameron witnessed the incident, he saw the President at the orphanage. He left behind witness testimony on Miss Crane's answering machine. Even Blaze couldn't make that disappear. Ergo, the body double needed a reason for the President to have been at the orphanage. And that's why they prepared the fake kidnapping charade. The people in the fake photo are the body double, and, most likely, Patricia Rowland. The person in the coat is Miss Rowland? What makes you say that? The two would have to leave the orphanage in order to take the picture. Just like when he moved the body, the double used the real President's footprints. So the second set of footprints must belong to the person in the coat. Indeed, we originally believed that those footprints belonged to Cameron's killer. They were size 7 footprints, too small for Blaze's feet. Thus, we can presume that the person playing the part of the kidnapper was Patricia Rowland. Hidden in the shadow of the presidential kidnapping was a presidential assassination. My goodness. I see. So that's why my old man... Why he... what? The old man must have realised that a murder had taken place. After all, he had the kid's drawing. However, that picture was never presented as evidence. Your father likely took it from the young witness during the investigation and hid it. He had to have known that Huang was dead. But what if he had revealed that back then? Revealed the death of the President, the backbone of Zhengfa? It would have caused chaos. And that's why my old man took the secret to his grave. He even took the blame for the kidnapping, knowing that would be the fall of the House of Lang. Oh. So this is the truth that Agent Lang's father hid 12 years ago. Damn. It's a hefty bloody secret. And now it's all become clear. Huh. Sheesh. Is that really the case, I wonder? Huh? Huh? What? Who's there? It's Dogen! That bell, it's... Dogen! Oh my! Sir Dogen. Oh, and his dog, of course. You, why are you here? How can you just brazenly show up here? Who do you think you are, pal? I found the conversation most intriguing, and I just... well... Are you feeling nostalgic about an old murder of yours? You're the one who killed Wang. Nostalgia? I think not. You were speaking about the person I am searching for. You're searching for someone? I escaped from prison in order to meet with a young acolyte. The one who wore the red raincoat. The red raincoat? Who is that person? Or this person? I suspect that it's the same person as the mastermind you are searching for. Oh, don't show me the pictures again, I hate it. It's so fucking creepy. Someone you've been searching for, the one in the red hood. The red hood. Don't they seem surprised, Anubis? Yes, they are, my boy. 12 years ago, this young acolyte saved my life. Oh, okay. I was not expecting to get into an argument with him. Oh, is this testimony? Testimony, whatever. Certainly it was I who killed President Huang. However, my life was also targeted on that day. The body double, Blaze and Patricia all sought to seal my lips. Had I not been reunited with the young acolyte back then, I would have been in danger. But alas, even to this day, I do not know what has become of the young acolyte. Interesting. So your client was indeed the body double, who was the main perpetrator of the crime. It was a long time ago, but I remember his words even now. There have been countless attempts on my life, not just once or twice, countless. And yet, why must I be the only one to face the danger? When I stand before the people, I garner the same respect as the President does. Tell me, just what is the difference between him and me? The difference was great. While the voice and style of speech may be the same, one can mimic the body, but the heart cannot be reproduced. I suppose his own weaknesses cost him in his quest to become a leader. Indeed. Now that Rook's gone, I'm in charge. I'm not sure if you're as capable as Rook was. What are you saying? I'm totally the leader now. Perhaps the king and his knight were not so different after all. The double believed that the President's only weakness was a woman called Amy. To find the woman, he needed the assistance of someone from this country. So, he joined forces with Blaze. After determining her whereabouts, he simply waited for the right opportunity. That chance came with the meeting at the orphanage. Indeed, the director of the orphanage was bribed and brought in as an accomplice. You must be referring to Patricia Rowland. Well, given what I've told you, do you realize the whereabouts of the young acolyte now? You mean the boy who saved you? But how do you know that he is the mastermind? That day, the young one caused a fire at the garden of the orphanage. You're talking about the kid who started the fire as a prank? A prank? Not at all. On that night 12 years ago, the young acolyte was hiding inside the igloo. It seems he witnessed Patricia and Blaze moving the body from his hiding place. Apparently he heard them talking during that time. It would seem that they were planning to kill me because I knew the truth. He immediately came to the main hall to tell me that. I learned this about the young acolyte sometime later. It seems he was wearing a red raincoat at the time. He led me out of the main hall. And then, the young acolyte said he was going to get rid of our footprints. So he scattered some lamp oil near the igloo over the snow, and then set it alight. And then he boldly set the oil ablaze. No way! So he set the fire in order to... All their focus was diverted towards the burning flames. I took the opportunity to escape through the rear exit. Oh. So, the boy in the red raincoat is the mastermind behind this case. Exactly. Isn't that right, Anubis? Yes, boy. Yes, it is. Okay, so now we have to rebuttal. Okay. So certainly as I would kill President Wang. You admitted that rather easily. These days I have long grown tired of killing. But in those